Determine the slope between 2 points, -1, -2, and 2, 7. So when you are finding the slope, you're looking for m. This is the change in y divided by the change in x. And remember, change means difference. So we're going to be subtracting the y points and subtracting the x points. Whatever is your first number is your first equation. So I'm going to identify this as 0.1 and identify this one as 0.2. So I'm going to take my first y coordinate, which is -2, minus my second y coordinate, which is 7, divided by my first x coordinate, which is -1, minus my second x coordinate, which is 2. So -2 minus 7 is -9. -1 minus 2 is -3. And when I simplify this, -9 divided by -3 is +3. So the slope between the 2 points, -1, -2, and 2, 7 is 3. Our new concept that we're going to start talking about today is write an equation given a point and a slope. So we're going to use the formula y equals mx plus b. This is our slope-intercept form. And we're going to use substitution to figure out the missing piece of our equation, which is the y-intercept, which is b. So I have m. I can substitute out m, and then I can substitute in 4. I can take the x and y numbers out and put in the x and y values from my point. So the x coordinate is 1. The m value is 4. Remember, the invisible operation going on between m and x is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by my x value, which is -1, plus b, my variable, because I do not know what b is yet. So I'm going to simplify. I get 4 times -1 is -4. Now I need to use inverse operations to get b on the right side of the equal sign by itself. So I add 4 to both sides, and I have 5 equals b. So now I know what m is, and I know what b is, so I can write my equation y equals 4x plus 5. And that's my answer. Okay, let's try that again. Write an equation given a point and a slope. My slope is 3. My point is 1, 5. So I write y equals mx plus b. And I substitute in all the values that I know of already. So y is 5. M is 3. Remember, it's multiplication. X is 1. And b stays the same because we don't know what it is yet. So I have 5 equals 1 times 3 is 3. We're simplifying here. Then I need to isolate b, so I use inverse operations. -3, -3. 2 equals b. So now I have b and m, so I can write my equation. Y equals 3x plus 2. Okay, well, I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to pause, and I would like you to try to figure out what the y-intercept is. What is b, given that the slope is 5 and your point is -1, 4. So I have y equals mx plus b. Plug in my information. Y is 4. M is 5. X is -1. And b stays the same. I'm going to simplify. 4 equals -5 plus b. 5 times -1 is -5. Use inverse operations now to solve, and I get 9 equals b. Remember, the reason why b gets isolated is because you use inverse operations, and this becomes 0. So it goes away. So my equation is y equals 5x plus 9. Okay, last example. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to try to finish this and figure out what the equation is, given that your slope is 2/3 and the point is 1/3. So I have y equals mx plus b. Y is 3. M is 2/3. X is 1. And b stays the same. So I simplify. 3 equals 2/3 plus b. Inverse operations, I subtract 2/3 from both sides. 3 minus 2/3, you can use your calculator if you need to, is 2 1/3 equals b. So my equation is y equals 2/3 x plus 2 1/3.